Ever wonder what happened to the millions of German soldiers after World War II ended? The story is far more complex than just going home. Let's dive into it. When Germany surrendered in May 1945, over 7.5 million German soldiers became prisoners of war. Their fates varied dramatically depending on who captured them. In the West, the British, French, and Americans held millions of these men. Initially, conditions were tough. Huge, overcrowded open-air camps, sometimes called Rheinwiesenlager or Rhine Meadow camps, had minimal shelter, food, and sanitation. Many suffered from malnutrition and disease. However, as the logistical chaos of the war's end subsided, conditions generally improved. The Allies, guided by the Geneva Conventions, began a process of denazification, screening prisoners to identify and prosecute war criminals and hardcore Nazis. Most ordinary soldiers were released relatively quickly, many by the end of 1946, to help rebuild a shattered Germany. For them, the journey home was about rebuilding not just their country, but their own lives. The story was tragically different for those captured by the Soviet Union. On the Eastern Front, the war had been brutal, and Soviet treatment of German POWs reflected that. Of the roughly 3 million German soldiers taken by the Red Army, many were sent to forced labor camps, the infamous gulags, scattered across the Soviet Union. They worked in mines, logging, and construction under horrific conditions. Disease, starvation, and exhaustion were rampant. It's estimated that up to 1 million of them never returned. The last German prisoners weren't released from Soviet captivity until 1956, more than a decade after the war ended. So, for German soldiers, the end of the war wasn't a single event. For some, it was a difficult but relatively short period of captivity followed by a return to civilian life.